Okay, perfect. And then I didn't close my phone when I put it in my backpack. So when I got to my phone, it was dead, and I was like, "Oh Lord,
that's
I can't text somebody."
That's what she was like. I tried to call him. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I talked to him earlier today, and then was like, oh, he's giving Fizz that birthday love. That's what that is.
That's what I thought. I was like, okay, we gonna see.
We're gonna turn this phone
tired
off.
That jaw is.
Right.
She's like, I can't talk for an hour and a half.
She sound wore out.
She said, I used to have that little dangly thing in the back of my throat, but
it ain't there no more.
Somebody's birthday today. It's gotta go. She had to take it out.
So did. It was like, go ahead and give Fizz that birthday love. We'll wait.
Hey, family, my lovely aunties, brown butter pecan, sensational ladies of substance. It's Mo Heart, and I'm back, y'all. I'm so excited.
Introducing Mo Heart and Mo Beauty.
Ask your auntie. Not single in 70.
And Opa, Auntie Shar is back. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, it's Minority Report, and it's Auntie Kerel.
It's Auntie Dawon.
And Auntie Jerrell.
You heard that? Dawon back, bitch. Hey. Coming back golden delicious from Greece. I know that's right. That's right.
I'm sure there was a lot of that going on.
I'm sure. And then also, look who's back in the house.
Hey.
Mo Heart herself.
Boom to the cat.
Ow.
Yes.
I know this. I'm so like I've been looking forward to this episode all week because we haven't seen Dawon in a couple weeks. And so I was just like, oh, I can't wait to just hear all these stories. And then I was like, oh shit, and we got Mo on this one. Damn, it's just gonna be a hell of an episode. I'm here for it. So before we get to know what Dawon's been up to and catch everyone up on his travels, Mo, what's new with you? You got a lot of shit going on.
There are a bunch of things that I've been doing, trying to work on becoming my own entity like RuPaul, so my name is next to hers,
Okay, now.
Very bad, okay? I don't want to be under her. I want to be next to her. I would let the world know that she gave me my start.
But not your finish. I know.
That's what
Okay.
I encourage somebody in the room that what God has for you.
No drag queen can take away.
Okay, it is for you. Look, I decided to really dive deep during the pandemic and okay, I believe that God is bringing me out, us out of the pandemic. And because I was working and I felt like that was a sign of his grace, I said, well, let's jump on into, and I was like, makeup, skincare. And I was like, let's jump into skincare. I didn't want to do makeup right away because Fenty is amazing. Laura Mercier is amazing. I've never tried his products, but the Jeffree Star products are amazing. And I say that to say, I did not want to have a product and then the kids read me for the dog shit.
You're right.
Because, Jeffree will get the palette and read, and his opinion, though people, I'm still gagged that people still, on him, but his opinion holds weight. And I didn't want to have a crunchy. There have other people who have done it, and we don't need to bring that up, but they can crunchy. And I didn't want that. So I said,
not Captain Crunch.
With the berries. Okay.
With the berries. All the pallets of berries.
I didn't want to, I said, let's do skincare. And I felt like skincare is perfect because the youth, the young generation really, really care about skincare. And as I'm getting older, though God blessed us with melanin, if you don't take care of it, we've seen that crackhead. We see that uncle that drink wine all the time. The skin look like Teflon. You know what I mean?
Not
look
Teflon.
Right. And I just wanted to one, make a product that it's something easy. Like I feel like people hate doing the whole skincare regimen, every day. Like that's a lot. So I said, what if we create something easy that's going to do all the benefits of what I want, the skincare and moisturizing serum and all these steps that I do. I said, so let's come out with a deep, like my own skin, I love to be dewy and I love heavy moisture. So I said, let's create a product that soothes the skin. It helps remove irritation. It helps deposit moisture. So we got some cucumber extracts, and so that is the blue one, the most stunning one. Then I have hyperpigmentation areas because of like many years of bad shaving, or you scar, you get hyperpigmentation, right? So we wanted to use namoxicide, right? Am I saying it right? Namoxicide, yes. Which is a B3 vitamin. Along with, yes, okay, we had to make sure
PhD
that we knew.
in skin
technology.
Oh wait, no, Namiacide.
Namiacide.
I got you, boo.
But it's a B3 vitamin. I know that. Thanks, friend.
I got you, boo.
Somebody with a degree, so, lovely. Namiacide. Yeah. You know why I said it weirdly? Because I listened to a British guy say it, and that's how I was just like, Namiacide. Yeah, anyway, Namiacide.
Microwabi.
But, yeah.
Microwabi.
The wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
That part. So I wanted to make, like, that's an issue for me. So like the Mo brightening, that is the pink one, and the Mo mattifying for people who have acne and like irritated skin and like you're always fighting a breakout. Like no matter how smooth your makeup application may be, you will still have that texture. And so that's why I made that one. And they're really, really great. They have this fun little like design on it. So you kind of feel like you're in a state of drag in a sense. Like you put the face mask on, it has a little doo-doo-doo. I did make sure that the mouthpiece was, wide.
Ooh, what the mouth do? Okay,
yeah. Yeah, because here you go. Sometimes you want to eat a little snack, eat a little Cheetos, and if the mouthpiece is a little... You can't do that because then you get, so I said, so you can put your lips through. Mm-hmm. Or if your man come out the shower when you just want to kiss it,
just
you can.
Kiss it,
I don't know if you should better,
baby.
It might be stuff in his abdomen, but you can kiss it and make it better. Very nice. But
and the whole line is called Mo Beauty, right?
The royal penis is clean,
line,
Your Highness.
Right, though.
It's the best part.
With your mask on.
That part, okay.
But Mo Beauty.
So it's the beginning. We want to do other things, but we just want to start with that for right now. I feel like it's easy. Everybody has their different things that they like. Like I love Hat. I think his name is Peter Roth. For a moisturizer. I love Sunday Riley. So everybody has their things, but everybody can add in one thing. Your friends will be like, oh girl, try this. And you're like, oh, okay, lovely. Or for us Black men, or for us people of color that have facial hair, let's say it that way. Yes. Boom. We have no time for people to be offended. So RuPaul is the reason that I started using Ten Skin. I was using like the little cream bump stopper that you get, the little, it looks like gray, whatever. But RuPaul was like, I was like, how do you fight breakouts? And he was just like, I got electrolysis or whatever it's called, where laser therapy, where they remove it. But he said before then he would use Ten Skin. And I was like, oh, so that's just a product you can add into your regime. So this is a product that you can use. I like to tell drag queens specifically, or people who shave irritated skin, I say the most stunning is the best. Like if you wear heavy makeup every day, or you're scrubbing your face and you just shaved and it's irritated, putting that cucumber mask on your face, baby, it's lovely. And you just kind of get to relax. Or you can clean the house. Or Vixen, I know she likes to fall asleep in a face mask and get all of that. I will let you know it's juicy. Yeah. So there's extra serum in the pouch you can scoop up and just rub on.
And get that neck and that upper.
Okay.
Just back to your hand. Huh.
Okay, we've all seen that older man who is like heat in the face, but his neck area is like,
yeah, we don't need that.
We've seen him. We don't want that. We want you to massage your neck.
Not turkey neck.
Yeah.
We call the gobble gobble.
Yeah, when you see
the gobbler.
So I have that, and then I also, this is a little tidbit, I'm also working with Amazon Music.
I saw that the other day.
And so we essentially get to interview like hot up-and-coming celebrities or just huge big names, and we get to interview them in their closet, and they get to talk about their famous iconic pieces or different pieces of their fashion that mean so much to them. And so I come in something fabulous, or sometimes I recreate one of their iconic looks.
So the walk-in, so that's coming up. And then also I did see you're going to be performing at a festival coming up, right?
Yes, we're making like history in the sense that it is the first time any music festival has had at least openly known queer people performing their music, not like lip syncing somebody else's music, not being a feature on somebody else's stage, but like it is our music. So myself and Lala Ree, we are the first two Black drag queens that will be performing at a major like music festival. We're the same night as right, like Lizzo's performing, Billie Eilish, but we are on the same night as Meg Thee Stallion. So to know that like we'll be in the same green room. And so I'm slightly like, I hate being around famous people because you go like, I don't want to do this, but like it would really help for the social media.
Do it, girl.
Right. Look, okay.
Don't get that shame.
You better have the good knees that day. Yeah, have the good knees that day.
Ice them knees up now.
Come with that goodie basket of all that Mo Beauty.
That's how you do it.
So we're going, give her the lovely hookup, her and Miss Lizzo. So I'm really excited. Stressed because here you go. I feel for so long we've seen cisgender or straight performers, male and female, predominantly on the female side, who dibble and dabble in drag. And we've seen straight dudes do it, right? I forget the different rappers that like you put on the dress and now people start looking at you. I forgot who these straight rappers.
Tyler, the Creator.
Like, him and like there was some little young one that like whoever the dude is that writes for the City Girls with the red braids. Like whenever his genre of music came out, like all of them were in skirts and leopard. You know what I mean? So,
are you talking about like Young Thug?
Yeah, like all of them. Like I don't want to say that's Young John. Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else. I was like, not Young Thug. I was like, not John, not John.
Look, here come Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie
gonna conversation. Stay bothering people.
Girl, it was crazy. So we're just really like gagged. I want to do it right. Like I feel like here you go. Lady Gaga has built her whole thing off of like queer fashion and queer art and everything. I would not take anything away from her. That lady can tell an amazing story with her music videos and everything. But as far as the physical aesthetic, that is us. So I really want to like show the masses, predominantly straight, like what it is that we have been doing in the club for years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, let us not forget that the gay bar has been the home of so much creativity because it's where we are. And then they come in and like, oh, I just want to have a fun night out. Let's go hang with my gays. And then you're hanging with your gays. And then some grand dame comes walking in 10-inch stiletto platform heels.
And you get your entire life.
And you're like, baby, I just came up with a cocktail, but yeah. And then you see like 2-3 months later and you see somebody else wearing it. You know what I mean? So I just really want to honor the queer history of drag entertainers, but then also crossing over, like in Brazil, you see their drag queens doing mainstream music. So to see, it's nerve-wracking. You're like, you feel like you just been popping around and you're like, I'm good at drag. Okay, wonderful. And and it's like, no, baby, I'm getting you in alignment. And it's kind of like, okay. Like
all the work is paying off though, because they don't just ask anybody to do these festivals. So soak it up, like soak it in, like soak it up while you got your little Mo Beauty mask on. Be like, bitch, I'm about to perform the shit out this place.
I mean, the show is gonna be plus the music's cut. Me and Lala Ree are doing a song together. This next project, I told the Most High God, I said I'm gonna give dedicated to you. So all the songs will be about him in one shape, form, of another. And so the song that I wrote with Lala Ree is about there's a parable where it talks about the king sent out his servant because he was having a ball, a wedding, and his servant went to all of these like prestigious people and the people that the king wanted to come, and they were like, "No, we're busy, like we can't show up." And then the king was like, "Oh, really? Oh, bitch, we still gonna have a party. Don't worry." Sent the servant back out, and he said, "Find anyone and anywhere. Go to the highways and the byways and the street corners and everywhere, and go." So it's like, go get my thems, my trams, and my femme queens and different things. And so, like the way I'm working it in, it's just essentially, it's like the chorus is, "Come you, oh come ye, come to the ball. He's hosting a banquet in the wedding hall." But it's like has that little like deep voice, but the whole thing is like, "Come to the ball, come to the celebration." Oh, it's very bad. The beat is like it's very fun. You hear it and you go, "Oh, it's us." And I'm really happy because the way I want to set it up in the show is we'll do 2 of the new songs for the show opener, then I'll do my 2 slow songs for my last project. I'm gonna do Brown Cow Stunning, just like 2 minutes.
Of course,
of it.
Yes.
You have to.
You have
I need
to.
to let the world know why
Give
they're
the
wearing
people
all
what
this
they
damn
want.
brown cow.
Yes.
Beyonce. Can we just let Beyonce know, if you listen to this, our queen, we just gonna let you know that we love you, but we see you in the streets. Because let it just be known, Beyonce in the King Already video specifically had all that brown cow hide, and she was riding a brown cow. She just wasn't riding a cow. Doja made cows famous with this. I'm a cow.
I'm a
That was a
cow.
black and white cow. But the brown cow, and then all of a sudden, as soon as it blew up, oh, designers putting on shoes, bags, and now we see our queen. I said, "Bitch, I couldn't even get a PR package." You didn't have to send me the whole collection.
Right, just a piece.
Bitch, the world would have went crazy. They
Honey.
Like, Beyonce saw your baby.
Yes.
But it's fine. So I'm gonna let the world know that I did Brown House Stunning because I want to do it like this. Because for the first half, I'm gonna just perform like they know who I am. Like, bitch, you know me. I'm gonna just do my music, bitch. Baby, I put me on stage, okay? Put me on stage. Then we'll take them down. I'm gonna do these costume changes on stage. This is gonna be so very kind. Then I want to go speak to them and go, "For those of you who don't know me, my name is Monique Carr. I did a fabulous show. Hit it, RuPaul's Drag Race Star. Tell them about Brown Stunning. Then we'll go on to Brown Cow. I say boom. Then I go, how many people are into like ballroom? Cat, kitty, cat, 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 cat. I have one of my little dancers come out, shablam. And they'll be like, that'll get them, woo!
Yes.
And I go, perfect. Because Megan Thee Stallion was on Legendary.
Yes.
And they'll be like, woo!
Oh.
Like, so this next song goes over perfect. And then you it's very quiet, man. And so Lala Ree is going to jump in. So it's going to be fun. It is going to be a moment. So she's amazing. Like getting to work with her in the UK and she frees my spirit because I live. Lala, she goes, "Baby, I am built like a linebacker, okay?" But she's like, cut, you know what I mean? Like, and so we would get on, like, she would get to the bus every morning in like bright, vibrant colors, Gucci shorts, all of this like thick side,
very ATL.
Just hanging out.
And I'm like, baby. And she says this line. She's like, hoes don't get cold. And I be thinking I'm a hoe. Like,
hoes don't get cold.
I'm freezing right now, right? And she's just walking like it ain't nothing. And I'm like, somebody pass me a jacket, bitch. Like, girl. But she, just to see, I think just more blackness and femme energy in a very like butch frame, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I want to look more like, Rel and I'm trying.
Well, we've been seeing you in them gym. We see them gym Instagram stories.
We see them gym,
honey.
Getting that fitness
I'm trying to be there. So to see her, she's just so free, and I go, but she's also younger, and she's 30. But I think it's just beautiful just to see like young queer Black people, and I go, bitch, let me get a pair of hoochie little shorts. So
Exactly.
I came home and cut me a pair.
I know that's right.
There you go. Is there any hope for an extension of Nubia?
Okay, so we are actually, that's why it's, okay, here you go. So we are like filming all of these episodes for The Walking with Amazon Music. And then we're not filming, I'm like right now I'm working on costume for Madison Beer, who is the white girl that I had on Celebrity Drag Race.
Yes.
So she has a song, I'm doing a whole recreation for her. Have to meet, our special guest on Monday. And so then on top of that, we have to get ready because we're doing another Nuclear Amplified and doing the press for Nubia all in the same week that I fly out for the Firefly. So baby, I am like,
she booked and busy and blessed. I know that's right.
Love it.
Called me yesterday and she goes, I just want to let you know. So we already had 3 looks for the tour. For sure we're going to do our Ankara. We did the Black Panther, so we're going to do something else in that kind of vibe of like just urban or whatever, and then something like high horror glamorous. BB goes, so I just want to let you know that we're going to change looks for the Amplified. So I need another 5 looks. She's like, okay, BB, great. Like, love this. So it's just like, I am like, I'm like November, October, somebody just give me another month, bitch. Because September is the month, which is crazy. It's a blessing. But I was very, very fearful because like, I think in August, not everybody, but there was all of this, like there's a new strand out. They're calling it the Doomsday and how it's really putting people out. Right. And I was just like, and I remember essentially being here, not this same time period, but in the same place where like we just did Nubia. I had just invested all of this money. We're supposed to be going out on tour. Right. And then the world shuts down. And I'm like in the same place. Like, I'm like, dear Lord. Like,
girl, just tour Atlanta. Just tour Atlanta. Atlanta ain't shut down shit.
Atlanta and New York. Atlanta, Texas. And Florida, I feel like the only place like, where you can go get a gig.
It's crazy.
Like the girls are working like ain't nothing ever stopped them.
It's wild. Yeah. It is so wild. But where can they find Mo Beauty real quick though? Like where should we send them? You can find Mo Beauty at 1-800-MoBeautyShop.com. And just look up there. You can also find the link on my website, MoniqueHeart.com. Perfect.
That's my name. Yeah. And the link is also
Mo. Right.
I changed my name. I changed my name to Mo Heart. So that's in like transition. Because I wanted to get away from having a very female binary name. Especially when I feel like I'm trying to let this man come through.
Okay, now.
Come on.
I've been talking to some big muscle man, and they said that there is something very like sexy about like, which there is, right? And I do feel like femininity is praised if it's on a very masculine frame because you can see the two, like, it's a clear dude. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, this kind of sexy. He's embracing his moment. And so this man was telling me, this big muscle Portuguese guy, he was like, it's so, one of his fantasies is that he wants to be like fucked in a kilt leather skirt.
Sounds like a good time.
And so he was in a kilt
leather skirt. Right.
I was like, I can make it for you. And then
she's like, so here's my kilt.
Like Amazon.
Be here in 2 days. That's what I did, okay? They got it. Okay? I got my harness on Amazon and I look like rough trade. Okay? It's a lovely $30.
Right.
But I really want to be able to like, I love when you see very like masculine men and then they'll have like a little glitter on it, like a pride, and then they're in their leather. Like I love the two worlds coming together, and I feel like for so long, I think I ran from my male energy because I think I didn't know how to embrace both.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So I just like, well, I'm a femme and da, da, da. But like the older I get, this dude is here, okay? Baby, if you try me, Because my friend told me, he said, you will be a woman all day long until somebody says something and your voice drops and he
It's
goes,
a
then
different
your
octave.
shoulders, baby. He's like, the dude comes out, your posture changes, you become and
That's
I go,
Mo right there.
right, okay. So I just really do. I want to be like a butch muscle. Like people go, do you want to be like Cameron Michaels? I go, I actually want to be bigger than him. I would like to.
Wow.
This
Cameron
is what
Michaels
I want to look
get
like.
it. Yeah, he cute.
I want to be bigger than Idris Elba and like who's the black guy from Wakanda, the bad villain,
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, that's what I want to look like. And then just give me something cut off the shoulder so I can still look
Right, just a little moment. Just a little, you know.
She said, I'm going to be naked. She said, I'm going to be fully naked with a doily right here.
Right.
I promise you, I told the Lord, now I do need to have like a little mini nip tuck, a tummy tuck, because, you know, I was really, really big. But I said, bitch, as soon as I get my little procedure, oh, baby, I'm going to be like a male Yo AunTeas, okay? The house down. Rhinestones, muscles, baby, that's it. Naked, okay?
Muscles.
That was my opening number.
Right. Right.
Bam.
Come on, Diana.
Bam. Okay.
You gotta have the Diana wig and everything. Yes.
Baby.
The whole fantasy of it.
Okay, side note. Have you ever got on YouTube and watched Tommy Ross perform that song? Okay,
No.
Here you go. There's a legendary drag queen. She's performing Miss Continental. Beauty. She looks like Diana Ross. Like the dolls back in the day. Like I promise you, YouTube Tommy Ross muscles, baby. She lays on the floor on these blue marabou ostrich feathers and just touches her. Baby, it's cut. Like this is drag, okay? Like,
I see that.
Take my money.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I love it. That's an underrated song. You don't hear that song enough. I love that song.
Nowhere. You only hear, baby. Oh, like the OGs, they do
right. Well,
I'm gonna bring that back.
Do it.
Ooh, man, just go. I'm trying to think, like, how can I find some muscle men in a different city? Oh, I'm performing this number and I need half naked men to jump on stage.
Well, honey, you know the gays are going to want on stage.
They will come. They will come.
Literally. They will be there. But well, we have Monique the whole episode. We're excited to have her back. Before we get to the next spot, what you got doing?
Just really quick, I just want to take the moment to say thank you for shouting us out on GM.
Oh my God,
man!
That was,
you gonna make me cry. Hold
on. It was such a surprise. We didn't know that this was coming, but just the fact that you thought of us in that moment was it was so amazing. We so appreciate that, and we so appreciate you, and that just speaks to the connection, because like I know a lot of times, you know, people do this kind of stuff all the time and it's just business, but we have real conversations, and that's most important to us. And so we're so thankful for you doing that for us. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I almost called you and yelled at you, like, how we gonna be texting and you didn't say nothing about this? I was like, I just talked to her. I was like, what?
And it was just crazy how we even found out. Like, it was, hey, Michael Munoz. Hey, we need to get Michael back on here, by the way. But Michael hit me up and he was like, congrats. I was like, congrats for what? And he's like, I just saw you on like the Good Morning America Pride list. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And I look and I'm like, oh, and literally start boohooing. I was like, Monique did not have to do that at all.
My manager was asking, he was like, who are like an organization or a charity or a podcast or like somebody queer? And let me censor this the right way. Fan of a lot of the stuff that's out here that has queerness attached to it, or the name queer, or under the umbrella of queer, because it's just not identifiable with me. Like, I look at it and I go, I'm clearly not gay or queer enough because I feel very out. Like, I suck dick and I go, is that not gay enough? Like, I don't know. And so it's really hard to really kind of engage and kind of stand behind like different organizations, and I don't care like what the work allegedly is. You're like, how do I really get involved? And when I met with y'all that first time, I was just like, oh baby. I think one of y'all, I think it was Jerrell or I can't remember, but you talked about like finding your tribe and having that moment. And something in that moment spoke to me, and I was just like, I want the Minority Report to be like seen by the world. Because I feel like the more, I mean, we've known, because y'all been doing this for a while, we know that your platform is growing, but I feel like having someone else to push you through the door or kick you or get your name to help get that exposure, other brown folks like me can listen and go, right, yes, it's like I identified. Like it's just what I think should be happening.
Yeah.
A lot more for us is in the business.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You know how much I love you because we kicked it in Palm Springs. And I'm mad I didn't get to come back the last week, but don't worry. We're gonna be back.
We're gonna get.
And before you hopped on, we're like, we all coming.
I said they have to come out here and get that same little house too. It was cute.
That was a real cute house. Yeah.
Did Jerrell tell you that the power went out?
So you ain't pay your bill, girl.
No, girl. California just does these weird outages. And so we had all of these like glow sticks. So we just popped them and just started making decorations. Put 2 or 3 in the bathroom so we could just see like where to pee and aim, right? Girl, it was crazy. It was a good time.
I know. You didn't say that part.
This is the crazy thing. We like, as soon as like the lights went out, we just started to like making the crafts and making the lights and hanging them out. And I was like, what would like these young babies do with no cell phone? Like none of all of our phones were dead. Yeah. Like nothing. It was crazy. And we just like the 90s, kids from the 90s on back, baby. Like we know what to do.
Exactly. And it was perfect timing too, because we were like, we had just had dinner. We were like, ooh, like everyone feeling good. And all of a sudden it just went out. We were like, oh. Ooh. And I was like, well, I got all these glow sticks. We're like, say less. And it was like being a kid.
How do you just randomly have these glow sticks?
I got this bag of glow sticks.
Oh, I'm glad I stopped at Costco on the way over.
It was more than a bag. We had a whole table of glow sticks. Mo had made this fan out of the glow sticks that was hella cute.
Why did Jerrell steal everything from the improvisation challenge that they do at RuPaul's Drag Race, where they have
that's what it was.
He just grabbed all the glow sticks. Like, I'm gonna take these.
So I'm gonna need this one day.
The unconventional challenge.
No, it was so accurate. It was crazy.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I love Palm Springs, but Dawon, okay. Dawon was looking hella good out there. I was like, okay, the sun was glistening off his body. He had his little caftan on. He had the little hat on. He was doing his, you know, be doing his smizing all the time. I was like, this bitch out there just living his fucking best life, and I can't stand
goals,
it. We can stand it all at the same
goals.
time.
Goals the whole time. I was like,
out there for like 9 weeks.
I was like, I'm not living my life. I need to step my pussy up.
This girl, how long were you out there? You were out there damn near.
She basically carried a whole baby to term. She was gone so long.
Was it everything you wanted? Like, was it everything you thought it would be?
It was the best vacation I've ever had in my entire life.
I know that.
It was very much that. And you guys know, like I work really, really hard, and I give 1,000% of whatever I have to whatever I'm working on. And I knew that this has been a long year and a half of a lot of different stuff. And, you know, we had planned this trip. We've been talking about it since the end of last year, and then officially planned it, I think, February or March of this year, in anticipation of the vaccines and blah, blah, blah. And my whole purpose was to just recharge. Yeah. I needed to disconnect. I needed to recharge. I said, the only things I really want to do is I want to sleep in every single day. Mm-hmm. I want to spend time in the water. I want to drink like a fish, and I want to have amazing meals at night. That's all I want to do. I'm not doing no damn sightseeing. I thought that amazing
was going to be somewhere else.
Right.
I was like, oh, amazing.
Like this.
Meals.
Meals.
You can tell a bitch ain't missing no meals.
Look,
Well, I guess he didn't signify what meals were. It could be various meals.
I mean,
now I'm gonna keep it real. Like it was from like I love a quaint dining experience.
Yeah.
And so that's all I wanted. I wanted to recharge, and it was 6 of us going, so there was a lot of logistics. We hit
9,000 islands.
We stayed in some lovely accommodations, and it was everything. There was a moment in Santorini 2 nights before we're getting ready to leave. We had planned to go to have you all been to, has anybody been to Greece at all?
It's on my list, bitch.
We stayed in an Airbnb on Santorini. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Santorini. No, I said Santorini, but I mean Mykonos. We stayed in Mykonos. This was the last island before we're coming back, and I wanted to go to this place called Scorpios, which has it's like this artist commune, but it's like very upscale, very upscale. In order to like spend time at the beach bar, you have to make reservations well in advance. Didn't know that, so we weren't able to get in.
Okay.
They do like this thing called the Sunset Ritual, which starts at 5 o'clock, and they have this DJ playing, and it's all like tribal, like house music, and it's just supposed to be everything. But
yeah,
I basically didn't find out about that until the day before, and when I asked for reservations, I'm sorry, we cannot accommodate, but please do reach out to us later. So I said, okay. I said, okay, we're not doing that. So we ended up at this place in Namos Village, which is this other very high-end, very luxury, exclusive little like village in a valley, where all the yachts come in and celebrities and blah blah blah. And we got dinner reservations at Namos restaurant, and there was a moment, I kid you not, where I asked myself, am I dead? Because it was damn near perfect. Like if someone would ask me what my idea of heaven was,
that's it.
It was a good ass meal, surrounded by people that I care about, amazing atmosphere, beautiful, like organic tribal music playing, and like all this other kind of stuff. And that's what was happening that night. And I may or may not have danced on a table.
Okay, Shar. The Shar came out. Okay.
Like it was so perfect. There were two songs that has been reoccurring over the last 6 months. Jolene by Dolly Parton, which is so random and obscure.
Yeah.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Okay.
And this other song that I didn't hear of until we were in Santorini, but it was just so amazing. And it's called Love Tonight. And it's very like, again, very
by Montel Jordan.
No. This is by this.
That's the only Love Tonight I know.
This is by this group called Shoes, SHO. It's S House, basically, Shoes.
Okay.
But it's like very tribal, very ethnic, very like chanty, but it's like it's hard and sexual.
Okay.
And the lyrics are just like phenomenal. It's all about like how much you just want and need love. Like I need love tonight. And so at the beginning of the night, we're sitting down, we're ordering, our first course or whatever. And I lean over to my best friend and it's like, Milos, wouldn't it be just perfect if they played Jolene tonight? Because they were playing all this like really amazing music and all these like really interesting kind of like, like overlays, music, and it was like the DJ was doing a phenomenal job. And the only reason we heard about this place is because in our Airbnb, you could hear the music from this place all the way up on the hill where our Airbnb was. Wow. So we're like, we need to go down there.
Right.
We need to go down there. So we're having a good old time. We didn't had like, I didn't had about 8 shots of Ouzo and just living my life. I had already popped the edible, just like it was, we were having a good time. And then all of a sudden, guess what they started playing?
Jolene.
Right. Jolene.
And you know when you're in that, like, well, you might not know Kerel because I know you don't do the.
I don't do edibles and weed.
You don't
do
the
weed.
You don't do the things. But there was a moment of like where you question reality when like you're either so drunk or so high that you're like, am I making this up in my head because I want it to happen, or is this really happening?
Right.
I was having one of those moments, and then I actually heard the lyrics and was like, they're fucking playing this goddamn song.
You're like, this is perfect.
Get that come to moment.
And then
wait, is that what you danced on the table too?
Yes, ma'am.
The Dolly Parton. Dolly motherfucking Parton. I know that's right.
So this Greek waiter that apparently had been flirting with me that night.
Wait, who let you know? Adam?
No, my best friend, because
Milos.
he went over to my best friend Milos and he was like, we need to get him on. I want to get him on the table to dance. Ooh. And so they both came over to me and were like, okay, you need to get up here and dance. And I'm thinking, y'all gotta be this a classy joint. This ain't no like, like. And sure enough,
money is what I was
about to say, where the dollars at? That would have been my answer. Where them dollars?
And we all know that like dancing isn't like Dawon's ministry too, so he must have really been feeling good too.
No, well, and you know how in like Greek culture, like breaking plates is like a thing.
Yeah,
they didn't move the plates or the cups. So I'm like, are they trying to get me to break some plates in this joint? Like, and I said, I'm not doing it unless I'm not going to do it. They already got my black ass on this.
Dishes.
And I think I was the only black person in that space. So I'm like, I'm hyper aware of like the situation, even though I'm feeling my fantasy with Jolene and the edibles and the ouzo. Let's just say I had a really good time.
Oh,
yeah, I had a
hold on.
really
How
good
does the story
time.
just end with a really good time? What does that mean, Dawon? I don't know.
You
know where my mind go. My mind go places.
Did you fall over? He ended up in your booty hole.
You're right. Like, you said he was flirting with you. So what does a really good night mean?
Maybe not.
Well, nothing happened there.
Okay.
nothing happened there. But no, it was a spectacular experience. And above all that, I got what my soul needed. I really got to decompress. And, I learned something about myself. I learned that, I never really know how much weight I carry, like stress, anxiety, all that pressure and all that stuff. You just work through it and you become used to it. And this was just a reminder that it's nice to like, we all do these like, like getaways, like, oh, I'm going to spend 5 days here, 3 days here, and that's great. But
well said, she said, what's that?
I need to, bitch. I'm like, I don't treat myself at all. Like, you were talking, you like 5 days. I'm like, bitch, where? Go ahead. Anyway, continue. I'm listening. I'm taking it in to receive on what I need to do. Go ahead.
Right.
I'll just say that, this taught me a very valuable lesson. Like we were gone for 17 days and I understand why Europeans take a full month off. Like,
see, I need that.
The way that your body and your soul and your spirit just recalibrates when you don't have those distractions of like being on, like emails and Zoom calls and, planning and all this other kind of gobbledygook, and you can just actually just enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. That's, at least for me anyways, that is precious. And I'm making a commitment that at least every other year I'm going to do that. My little sabbatical. So
I live for that.
Take it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's right. Well, we missed you,
y'all.
Everything we missed you.
Mm-hmm.
You were gone for how long?
17 days.
A bitch was gone.
Right.
So gone.
This was not.
New Monica.
Right.
This was not like I'm gonna fly over to Europe for like 5 days and come back and try to cram all this stuff in. Like we wanted to luxuriate. We wanted to luxuriate. We really wanted to feel the fantasy of just being on vacation.
Favorite island?
Milos.
Okay.
Milos was my favorite. I know a lot of people talk about Mykonos because of the gays and all that stuff. And it's I mean, you know, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But for me,
well, because we know why.
Yeah. That part.
I mean, because I'm just gonna like, for me, anyways. Like,
for me, that took time.
For me, like, I can see gays anywhere. I live in Manhattan, you know. So like, if I wanted to be about that life, about, you know, like 15 loads a day, let's just talk on real street.
Hey,
like,
a loads of laundry?
15?
Bitch, you know what loads I'm talking about. Like, if I want to be about that life, I'll just, it's right here. So I don't need to go to a damn island. Well, I'm not, look, they don't call me Auntie Chard. Look, I'm Auntie Chardonnay. I'm not Auntie,
what you gonna say? What you gonna say?
You know.
Yeah,
let me see whose names are on here.
Right.
On this list.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. I was like, "Ooh, who's she gonna say?"
Dark and stormy.
Dark and stormy.
Hey, Melody.
I thought you were gonna say chocolate martini for a second.
Ooh.
Hey, Landy.
Hey, Landy. She was our guest host while Auntie Dawon was out.
But no, like, here's the thing. In my opinion, like, I was very clear about what my intention was on this vacation. One, it was to be on vacation.
Yeah.
It wasn't to sightsee. It wasn't to like be around a gang of people. And when you go to Mykonos, it's a party island. You go there because it's a scene.
Yeah.
And we had fun while we were there, but we mostly stayed in our Airbnb, which was lovely and secluded and on this little like perched hill overlooking, you know, Namos Village and all the da. It was that. But our purpose being there, this trip, was to disconnect. So the place that I found to be most amazing was Milos, in part because Milos, out of all of the islands, is known for its beaches. It's known for it. Okay. And it's just a beautiful,
and you had your Speedo on too. I was like, go ahead.
Yeah.
I texted you. I was like,
look at the photo.
I know. I was like, go ahead. I was like, Dawon got the Speedo on and everything. I was like, I know. Wait, what did I say? I was like, oh, you got your legs all out, girl. Come on now.
You know, we have to give the children a little something.
Give them a little show.
Little
it's like, I know I'm on vacay, but I'm still here, bitch.
I didn't have my ass out like you did, but
you know, that's the next step.
Well, let me just put it this way: I didn't have it out in a way that was captured.
Look, Mo really looking for the Speedo. She
I think that was a story.
It was a story. It was a story.
That look,
and she's so like,
she said, "Be right back."
Oh man!
Yeah, Milos was my favorite island. It was amazing. Santorini is stunning.
Yeah,
it's all about the views. It's literally about the views. We were there for a couple of days. Santorini was beautiful. Mykonos, I would go back to Mykonos, probably not within the next year, but I would go back there because I would love to go back to Namos, and then I would love to go make a reservation a couple months in advance to go to Scorpio. That's where it's supposed to be at.
That's right. And did someone unplug? I got that little double. Does anyone hear themselves when they speak?
Hi.
I'm hearing.
No.
I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, I hear an echo.
Is it me?
Is it me?
Are you still plugged in, Mo?
I have my headset on Bluetooth. And that's what they've been the whole time.
I don't know where the echo coming from. Test. Yeah, still
I'm
here.
Hearing that echo.
My fan, my AC unit is on. Is that the wind that y'all hear?
It's the echo of the actual voice for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't sound echoed to me.
Let's see here. And I'm just worried about the rest of the episode. Oh well, we'll see what it does. And deal with it then. But I guess what time is it there?
I live for that. Can I just say I live for the whole like I want to go on vacation and do vacation because I do think it is a very American thing. Like, yeah, let's go on vacation and we're gonna do this. Get on a flight and go back home. And you're like, I didn't rest. Like You know, you had to make sure you saw the sites, or if you go in a group, like somebody had to keep the itinerary, and they're offended if you like, oh, bitch, I just would like to just sit here and look at a wall. Yeah, I really think that is necessary. You know what, bitch?
And that's something I've had to learn over time, because I used to be the one that's like, I want to see that, and I still do it. Like, if I'm gonna go somewhere, it's like, damn, I don't want to just always chill, but I've had to learn to chill because I'm on the go all the time in my day in day life, you know. That's just like, you know what, I'll see you next time. I just want to lay here with a drink, look at these men just walking by.
Okay,
and that's about it. That's, you know, it's like, hey, you look good in that Speedo. Where's it from?
That's it. Don't do too much.
Right.
Don't
like,
smile. Okay.
Like, that's my husband right here. Unless he say okay.
Okay, well then I guess then come back. She got a man.
So it's like, damn. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I could tell, like, it's your skin is glowing. You're always glowing, boo, but your skin's glowing. I could tell you're rested. I could definitely tell. Yeah.
I came back ready for y'all.
Now we still here. We still crazy.
Yeah, you're right. And big thank you to Landon for holding it down in my absence. Yes. You did a good job, boo. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, it's your first Ask Your Aunties on your way back. So what time is it?
Ask
your auntie.
And this one says, hey aunties, in recent weeks, we've seen Del and Sonia Curry, the parents of Seth Curry, get a divorce. And I've seen folks say that divorcing after 30 plus years of marriage over cheating is silly. I'm curious to know what you all think. Is cheating always a deal breaker, even after 3+ decades of marriage? Or is it silly to separate?
Wait a minute, who got divorced?
So do you know who Steph Curry is, the basketball player?
He got divorced from his wife?
Not him. His parents got divorced, and they've been married 30 plus years.
Why do we care about his parents?
Well, because they've always kind of been at the games and they've kind of put his parents on this silver platter of marriage goals. Of course.
Oh. Wait.
I'm joking.
I can't.
No, here you go. Because Steph Curry and like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Here you go. I don't really recognize or remember Kobe Bryant or any other Black basketball player being in the news other than something scandalous. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's there, not taking away from his skills, give him all his shine, but now like his wife has become like a Chrissy Teigen in a sense, and now we're talking about his parents.
That's what
make the money. I hope they're all getting a paycheck.
And actually, Del Curry used to be a decent player in the NBA as well. So I think that's why a lot of people. He's a former player himself, and then he's still out there and about. Like, he's still visible. So I think that's why a lot of folks are still talking about it.
I would say, hell yeah, 30 years you cheat on me, and it's the first time too. I'm taking all of the munchies and I'm leaving.
Look, especially at that level, you know, coins.
I just feel like what happened at 30 years that you didn't want to say, this is where I'm at. You don't slip in a booty hole. You don't just allow, you know, like, even as queer people, if some man comes up on you and is like, hey, you wait a minute, like, you cute. I could want it, but I gotta wait a minute.
Yeah.
So how you just get to this place having an affair and you cheated? Like, that's premeditated. You felt that little bubble guts, like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and push on. Very that. So you knew, take his money.
And it sounds like after I kind of read this question that both of them were kind of doing stuff.
Dipping and dapping.
Oh, they both were fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, maybe he started dipping and doing it first. And she said, well, look, I'm going to keep this money and go get some too.
Maybe.
Okay, well, then stay together.
What
you got to think about that life insurance plans and all
that part.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, after 30 years, I'll be like, whatever. I don't care. I mean, we didn't been through 30 plus years together. Why throw it all away? You know? And then, I mean, at that age, I don't want to die alone, y'all. Like, I just might ride this train to the final destination at this point. But like,
you know Quad City DJs.
Look, I just. Can you imagine being that old? Like, how do you get back in the game? Like, you at somebody's church barbecue, you at somebody's funeral, like, because you ain't on these apps like these young folks. I mean, that's a whole different game. So,
well, I mean, if they cheating, clearly they still got it.
And he an old pimp, so he probably rolled up on it and said something real smooth.
Look, he probably got busted on his pager still, like just.
Dawon would roll up and say something real smooth to you. Dawon got that like he grew up around like old pimps that smell like cognac.
You want to go to Greece?
You want to go to Greece for 17 days? Opa, bitch.
Look, I might roll up like that.
What about you, Dawon? What you thinking?
Part of me is wondering, like, when are straight couples going to just open themselves up to the possibility that the relationship could be polyamorous? Mm-hmm. Because do you really want to be starting all over with somebody else with a whole new damn relationship? Why can't you just have somebody on the side and just have an arrangement? Like, if that's what you want, like, you got your family over here, y'all stay together, and y'all don't have to like be in love with each other, but surely there's got to be some kind of like affection and care for one another, but like, you starting this whole other relationship, now you out here single and 70. I mean,
that sounds like a show.
Wow.
Single and 70. I can't.
Like, look, at the end of the day, like, if it's a question of whether or not you just can't stand to be with that other person, then yeah, y'all shouldn't be together. But if it's just a matter of quote unquote cheating, like, oh, they cheated, like they had an affair, but they're still like they still like half foot in and half foot out or whatever, that's, in my opinion, that's repairable after 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Mo, I accidentally muted you. I just clicked on the screen.
But
there we go.
Both of them cheating?
And that's what it sounded like. After I kind of saw this headline and saw this question, I was like, oh, it does sound like both of them were. So, and I don't know who started what first, but
it sounds like they just both went out.
Does it matter though?
And that's the thing, and that's what I struggled with. Like, because like, I just feel like we put cheating as the gold star of just relationship failure. And to me, yes, there's something, at least to me, there's something behind even like the cheating. It's like, maybe that wasn't like the arrangement, and there's like the lying and things like that, and the feeling that you couldn't come to me and tell me that's what you wanted, or there was something off in the relationship. So that almost bothers me more than even the actual act.
The act of cheating.
But it's just like, I feel like we've just been so taught that cheating is it. And that's what we saw in straight relationships, and that like a lot of times we just don't, especially after 30 years, take a moment. And I don't know, maybe they did, but I would say after 30 years, take a moment and be like, okay, damn, like, why? Let's ask why. What's the reason? Like, and kind of go from that route, and that cheating might not be the ultimate ending of a relationship, at least for me, especially after that long. And like, I mean, in my relationship, we've been together like 9.5 years, and I'm like, tried to put myself in it. I was like, even at 9.5 years, there's so much that we've built, so much that I enjoy about this human being, that yes, my feelings might be a little hurt, but I don't know if I would immediately think I'm divorcing Corey. And I would.
Right. I think that's a difference, though. I think a lot of times in media we grew up and in shows and like all the fantasies, you see general dating couples. Mm-hmm. Generally, like people who have been married and have children together and established a life. When someone's cheating on you, whatever, and you generally stay because you have built a life, you have the children, and a lot of times, for at least Black women, they have no other resource, so they just stay and endure. If you do have your own resources, I think it's very much like you. I do agree. I think my biggest issue with cheating is there was something you needed that I couldn't give you, and you couldn't tell me that.
Right.
That's why I would want to end it, because the fact that we can't communicate.
Yeah, that's.
But I've also not like had what y'all had, so I'm very.
But no, that's very real though.
I mean, I would just say, like, after 30 years, especially if this is like the first time, and that's the other thing I want to know. Like, is this the first time, or were there other in this 30 plus years?
I'm sure there's probably others.
Because because if there's others, then I'm just like, okay, then this is a habitual cheater, and then someone's not getting out of it that they need in a relationship, so then go. But if it's the first time, though, after 30 plus years, I mean, that I can forgive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still think I'll be with you though, Mo. Like, I would still, for some reason, I would just still feel like, what about me isn't allowing you to be so honest with me,
right?
And I would find myself then blaming myself and then taking on some of that responsibility.
And
I ain't trying to be in that place.
Yeah.
Why can't you just date other people? I mean, like, what? That's a lot of work.
It is. You
know what I mean?
To dismantle 30 years.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. Look. Just have a conversation with your wife, or vice versa, and be like, you know what? Let's just have an arrangement. Like, you do your thing. Just don't do it in a damn house. Don't be messy with it. You
don't bring that home. Don't bring that in the bedroom.
Don't be putting nobody up in no houses or whatever.
Like a couple that was dated and then you broke up during the pandemic, and you're like, don't bring nobody home. Like, we just paying the mortgage together.
You know what? But at a certain point, some relationships turn into companionship. And being a roommate, in my opinion, like, there's a difference between a roommate that has no romantic connection to one another because y'all live in separate lives, versus companionship where you actually have feelings and affection for one another, but you have arrangements around, some of your sexual needs, which is the purpose for, large purpose for cheating. Now, unless it's something completely different, like they found somebody and they fell in love with somebody else, that's a whole different story. But if it's just like, you want to get your rocks off or whatever, like, why break up the kingdom? Come on now, just stay together and have a couple of like cottages and like
cottages,
do the milkmaid.
International and said cottages. Look, I do think. Okay. Also, what about this? Because every affair is not sexual, and there are emotional affairs. And I remember when I was leading like ex-gay interrelationship history, like healing or whatever. And I will never forget this lady. She confessed that like her husband cheated on her with another woman emotionally. And she said that broke her. She said, this is what her words are. She said, I could have handled the fact that he had sex because that's an action. It was boom, done. But the fact that he had this emotional connection with this other woman, she said that is the thing that completely broke me because I thought he had that with me.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
That's... And maybe there's part of that in this cheat. Yeah, I mean, and it's not, and obviously a lot of times out here, we try to wrap it up in like the little 15, 20-minute segment, and it's a little deeper and more complex than that. We completely are aware of that. But yeah, a lot of times it is easier to separate the physical and the emotion. Like once it gets to that emotional setback, you're like, damn, like, I invested all these emotions and that wasn't enough. And that could, but even for me, I'm just like, you know what? Okay, the emotional part, okay, I'm definitely done then. And I can see that. But I don't know if I would ever allow someone to break me. Like, even being married, I don't think, if Corey emotionally fell in love with someone else, I would be upset, don't get me wrong, because I adore him and I love him with all of my heart.
Breaking dishes in the
right, Riri, Oprah, dishes. That's an underrated Riri song, by the way. But I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just read and seen so many situations out there that I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm so like, I am never gonna let a human being break me emotionally. And maybe that's still maybe a wall, now that I'm talking out loud now, that a wall maybe I still have up or something. I don't know. But I know that's the one thing I ain't going to let nobody do. cheat on me, okay, physically, I'll come to the conclusion that I need for my damn self.
Right.
The emotion a lot of times is a lot harder for a lot of folks because you invest so much of yourself in relationships, but you ain't gonna do that to me. Oh no, you ain't gonna get me, or I'm not gonna let you see that you got me either. Or maybe that's what it is.
I do also feel like we put a lot of humans in a box. Like, you know, like my grandfather on my mother's side had like 3 or 4 different whole ass families outside of like my grandmother, my mother's mother, at the same damn time.
Yeah, man.
You know, so like, but that's not uncommon in a lot of cultures, in a lot of settings. You know, so like if we know that, and it's not like my grandfather on my mother's side didn't love those women. He did.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about sex. Because he had full-on relationships with them. And there are a lot of cultures where you see that happening. And what that says to me is just that there are some people who are just built differently. You know, their capacity to show love for other people is not dependent on what they're showing to one person. But whether the person that's getting that love and with that person who has the capacity to love a whole bunch of other people is comfortable with that, that's a totally different conversation. So like, I do feel like we bucket relationships like it has to be kind of like a one way.
Yeah.
And I would love to see the dialogue shift out of that, where we give people permission of like, there are some people that are capable of loving more than one person at the same damn time.
Right. But I think you have to go into that situation knowing that you are not going to be the only one.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get into a lot of relationships codependent, needing something instead of coming into a relationship whole. So you're like, I need you. So it makes sense. Yep. This is the other thing I wanted to say. Have y'all seen, I've seen this a lot. I saw this one guy put a video out. He was like, I just want to give y'all some signs and let y'all know that the pussy is not y'all. It's just your turn. And then this lady, and then I heard this lady, she said, I'm going to help somebody out when it comes to cheating. She says, we get all distraught when someone cheats on us because we feel like we own them, like they are our possession, like they're our property. But you don't own anyone. You know what I mean? And so the fact that you're like, this person's mine, did you buy them? Did you like, you know what I mean? So how do you indicate what they're going to do? Now, did they disrespect you? Yes.
Right.
But they're not yours for you to hold them as your mine. You cannot do X, Y, and Z. That's really crazy.
That's a word.
And I think I've always, and I don't know where it's come from because I don't think that's my parents' situation, not that I know of. But and I think that's where I was kind of hinting at, like just even the emotion part is just like I just know, like at least the way my brain's set up, I'm aware that Corey's human, if that makes sense, and that he might miss it, and I might misstep. Like, and I leave at least room in my mind, and this is 9.5 years talking now. This is day one. I haven't always been this way, but I've at least left room to know that might be a potential, because people are getting, like, the divorce rate is high. Like, at least the scholar part of my brain is just like, okay, Kerel, like, clearly this is just a human thing that we just suck at being faithful, telling the truth, and making sure everyone else is good. We're a selfish being. And I think I always just kind of had that have that in the back of my head. And again, it doesn't mean I won't feel disrespected. It won't mean that I won't leave. Like, I could be like, you know what? I don't want that. But I'm aware, and I at least try, and I'm saying this now, like, Lord forbid something to happen, but like at least try to be aware that at least we're going to have the conversation as to why. Then I can conclude what I need to conclude for myself one way or the other.
I will say though, it's easier to. I truly do feel it's easier to say than it is to do, because we all know, like, when someone disrespects you, it's easy to get pulled out of character and do what you're emotionally, like, what you mentally think or is the right thing to do, but you're like, oh no, but the disrespect alone has me out of character.
It's true.
Right. So I do want to remind the community. I want the community to be aware, that I understand that in the moment when you feel disrespected, you say, fuck you, I'm done.
Absolutely.
And then you do find sometimes that people get back together because they take a minute to calm down, and they're able to look at it, clearly without that anger, alone. But I mean, everyone got a different breaking point too. Some people can handle it, some people don't give a fuck, some people do give a fuck. It really, like, I mean, honestly, people just it's. I think it's different for each person. I don't think there's one answer, for a question like this. It really just
for
depends
30 years.
on.
But after 30 years, I'm like,
I know
damn.
people who just, I don't know.
And it could be 30 years. That was your breaking point. You're like, motherfuck this human being.
Like,
I don't been through some shit.
30 years of you leaving the cap off the milk and your socks on the floor. Like, and then on top of all that, you gonna do this? No,
it's like, bitch, I'm out.
Gotta go.
I'm out. So true. Well, community, continue to send your Ask Your Aunties questions at ay@minorityareport.com or DM us. We've gotten some new ones in the last few weeks here, so we'll get to those as soon as we can. But we love these questions, and continue to send them in. I know we're kind of getting late here. A couple crazy things just happened this week. Quickly, Elijah Mcclain's murderers are being indicted, so that is going to trial.
Absolutely.
That is a good thing. Honey. Because it's been, has it been 2 years?
2 years. 2 years.
So it's just like, damn, I don't know what took this long, but at least they're indicted. And I think it's 5 people, if I read right. I had it up earlier.
It's 3 police officers and 2
paramedics.
Paramedics, yeah.
Yep. So hopefully that goes to trial and the right thing is done. Indict these and light these motherfuckers up. And then the other big thing is like that Texas abortion ruling with the Supreme Court actually coming down 5-4 that they're not going to overturn the Texas ruling, which shows the importance of getting the right folks in the White House and electing these folks to the Supreme Court, because it just seems like increasingly more, this is not about the Constitution. This is about politics. This is about helping our home team out, whoever's quote unquote in power or supposedly in power. And that kind of sucks.
They are making it illegal, correct? They're keeping it. They're putting a ban, correct?
They're putting a ban after 6 weeks.
Yeah. After 6 weeks. But
doesn't that, by making it illegal, keep specifically Black folks in poverty?
Just say a whole word.
Now, here you go. I feel this weird, like, not convoluted, but like confusion about the situation, because I get it. But then at the same time, I hate the history of why it was started by Margaret Sanger.
The part.
So it is a very, like, baby boy, y'all set this up to kill us from the beginning. Now you're making it like illegal, so now we're forced with these kids, so then these kids grow up in poverty so y'all can just keep these private jails going. I'm going like,
bingo.
How do you win? How do you win?
You better say that picture, girl.
I don't
Seriously.
get it.
Because rich white ladies are going to find a way and be able to afford to get an abortion nonetheless.
They're going to cross the border. They're going to go over to Alabama, whatever. And
guarantee you these politicians have set up clinics somehow behind the scenes to continue to go. So it's just that's what bothers me. And it just bothers me. A lot of folks are like, oh, I hate abortion, this and that. Yet then the hypocrisy of like, oh, I hate people telling me what to do, wearing a mask. Like, it's just, there's so much hypocrisy, so much of it like everywhere, that it just drives me absolutely bonkers.
The other thing for me is that we make up 13% of the nation, but don't we make up like over 75% of the abortions?
I don't know the
stats, but that sounds right.
Yeah, that one I don't know.
Like, for the fact that we are in greater number than anybody else, but our percentage of the population of who lives here doesn't add. It's just this weird. I don't know. Jesus, come back. Strike with these hoes with fire. Just knock them out.
All these. Yeah, so it's a lot, and I just don't like the whole thing of white men and just men period telling just people period telling other people what to do with their bodies.
Yeah,
like, and having whole ass laws about it, like. And just seeing a lot of women post now, they're like, literally, you could be 2 weeks late, and it'd be the windows closed now for you in Texas, like, and don't have a choice of what to do with your own body.
Yeah, I think it is so crazy. Now here you go. This is my question: if she goes over state line, is that still illegal?
I don't think so. Because that's all about insurance at that point. It's all about what your insurance will cover out of state.
But who uses insurance when you're at the abortion clinic? And majority of us don't even have insurance. So
that's true. That's true. That's the nice thing about organizations like Planned Parenthood, who have programs that help people who can't afford them, be able to still get some type of service as well, like that too. I'm sure there are
clinics out there. But it won't be illegal.
But again, I'm saying, it's just about the access to them.
I'm just saying, just for clarity. So if I'm in Texas, I'm 2 weeks out, I'm stuck with this now pregnancy. If I choose to cancel, if I go over to Oklahoma as a Texas resident, am I in trouble?
No, it's just in that state. Yeah, it's just in that state of, so it can't happen in Texas.
But
everywhere else is fine.
But the hard thing that what happens now is a lot of these laws is since and I think the Texas ones even like this, they made it even more strict, saying that even if, like, say you took an Uber, you drove this lady to the clinic to get an abortion, now you are also held liable and could be sued privately by people. Yeah. Like, it's crazy how many stipulations they put into this law.
Wait a minute, and who's suing you privately?
That's the part. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Who is this private organization?
So, like, say your next door neighbor hates you, and found out you got an abortion. Now that your next door neighbor could sue you because you got an abortion. That sounds
like that's going to trickle over here. Don't that sound like they're going to affect us? Like, now your neighbor can damn near sue you privately because they found out that you was getting pooned out by your husband.
I'm just saying.
And the crazy thing, this is the crazy thing, right? They hate us. They hate us, right? The brown, the queer, and all of it. But it's 11 states in this great nation that it's legal for them folks to sleep with their dogs. We already know who's sleeping with their dogs. I'm just saying. Legal.
That's why.
Y'all need to leave Candace Owens alone.
Legal. It's legal. You can go to Alabama and do it. I believe Alabama is one of the states.
Y'all leave Candace Owens alone.
No, keep giving her all. Keep giving her all the smoke. Don't let her get no COVID test. Don't let her get nothing.
Wait, she still has it?
I don't even know what she has.
Is she out here saying this thing? She ain't got an auntie or nobody in her corner to let her know.
They all disowned her. They said, "Fuck her."
You know the answer to that.
I was just about to say it. Okay, here you go. Michelle Obama, the first Black woman in office. You ain't never seen a kink, a taint, or nothing, baby. You know she was laid. Greased. Them edges. Candace, that is very true. Just like Omarosa's hair was a little iffy, like
a little crunchy at times.
But then
she had some kookaburras or whatever. Yeah.
Who else was the other Black lady in politics, and she had the little short, I had to relax and it broke off and it just curled it.
Oh no.
I'm not naming no names.
Right. Say their names.
Very much like Candace.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. And then also the crazy thing that's not even crazy thing, it's a good thing they made. Trick Daddy out here talking about how he likes eating ass and get his ass ate. And he's just got all these straight dudes up in the uproar. However, I think Twitter's in the uproar because they're like, it's Trick Daddy. Right.
Right.
Yeah. If it was Michael B. Jordan
like,
saying he liked his ass eaten out, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm into it."
Because Trick Daddy looked like a California raisin. Like,
girl.
What's that line where they be like, "Oh, I can't stand Trick. He smell like bonking weed or something like that." And cussing him out. She like, he smell like bonk.
I know they said. I saw on Twitter. They said whoever ate Trick's ass got hepatitis A through Z. I said, I know that's right. Woo. Woo. But hey, I'm just glad that a rapper and like a stereotypically, I don't know, the persona of someone that's hard and things like this is talking about this because y'all late. Y'all hella late. Y'all been missing out on some snacks.
Can we say this? Because, the bacon bits and the sausage and gravy is lovely. But this is my thing, right? Because we all have been here as queer people. We've all sucked on the straight men's, right? And they don't prepare.
Yeah.
For the whole.
Yeah.
They don't prepare for the whole swab on your knob. And when you lift them up, or sometimes you even get near the balls, you get a little
aroma.
booty cheese.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just thinking
some Roquefort
cheese. So I'm just thinking that this lady, all the straight women that's just smelling booty cheek when they suck there. Girl, tell your man to wash his ass and go nibble on them there.
That's why we say wash your hands, your
legs,
and your ass. Like, get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that whole thing when Amanda Seales was talking about certain folks that don't wash their legs? They just get in the shower, wash their hair and their face, and get out, and let the soap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's where we got, because like I think we started just like wash your hands because of the Corona and things like that. Mm-hmm. We saw that, we're like, wait, people don't wash their legs. Mm-hmm. So we're like, wash your hands, wash your legs, and then I think just one day we're just like, and your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta squat. If you ain't getting a good squat or propping that leg up,
honey, get behind them knees.
Right.
Get behind them knees.
Know what them legs do.
The snowman. Right.
Seriously, it's like my knees be snap, cracking, popping every morning in the shower, but I be washing. Jesus, but and then we see Donda finally released. We got Drake about to release his album. It'll be out by the time this album will come out, or this episode comes out. So, and I think,
are we riding for him? Are we?
Kanye?
For Drake? Are we?
Oh, for Drake. For Drake. Drake is still selling his face. Drake can still get it.
Yeah.
Is this sad? I kind of like Drake, like after COVID, like he did like some little like commercial for insurance, and he had a little belly. And anybody ever like have a man that has a belly but has like equipment? Mm-hmm. It's just nice.
That was a commercial you talking about too. That Allstate commercial.
The Allstate commercial.
I do kind of.
Allstate had that little belly.
I do kind of feel like as long as you can see your
good hands,
as long as you can see your dick, it don't matter how big your belly get.
That's not true. You should say as long as you can see all of your dick. You might be able to see the head of your dick. Okay? So you need to be able to see from the base and still have a belly. If the stomach part the girth and the length, you out of order. Okay? If you laying down in bed and your stomach is up and you got a woody and we can't see it, but just the head, that's just too much.
The tip.
Not that it's too much. You just got to know how to maneuver.
Come on, Santa Claus.
I had a big man one time. I had this one. He was like a very large, because this is why I have this one friend. Shout out to Heidi Banks. She was this one drag queen in Kansas City. She was like this little skinny, like tiny little white girl, and she loved like 300-pound plus men's, right? Okay. With like hair and would tongue them down. And I was like, Heidi, like, what is the? And she says, girl, when he lays on you, she says, you know he's there.
Oh, damn.
And I said, oh, yeah. And so then this man, who was like a bigger guy, tried to like, he was flirting with me. So we dated, we went on a few dates or whatever. He took me out to eat. I think we hung out, and then he started to kiss on me. And then, you know, you get like in this position, and then you end up in this position. And girl, he kissed me and laid him, and I said,
"Ooh, he there, he there."
Bitch, I felt nestled. Say,
yeah.
He did the penguin. The penguin.
Not
baby.
You get in this position.
He laid, baby. Ooh,
yes.
He held me.
It was like a weighted blanket.
Yes, bitch. I was like, just stay. Don't move. Okay, don't move. Okay, don't move. Don't move. It was good, girl. It was good. It was good.
Okay, now I'm not mad at it. Oh man! And then a couple of little housekeeping notes. Candyman, are y'all gonna see it? Because it's the first film directed by a Black woman that debuted at #1. So,
boom, boom. Saw it. It was so good.
Was it?
Well, I'm going to see it this weekend.
So good. So good. It was worth
like
it.
Scary,
go see
scary.
It's not scary. It's just more of like a thriller.
Like, and a little bit of blood.
I felt like when I saw the original, I was more scared. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's good. Okay. I mean, there were a couple times where we were jumping. The whole movie theater was clapping and be like, "Oh, don't do it!" Like, enjoy it. It was good. Okay. And then of course, Fizz, his ass was all like, "Candyman, Candyman." I said, "You better not
do that.
You better stop playing with me."
No, man.
Like, no, we don't do that. We don't do that.
We don't do that. And I like the trailer where they're like, "Ooh, what kind of people would just say Candyman 5 times a mirror?" And it cuts to the scene as this white women. I'm like, they did that shit on purpose. I was like, whoever cut that, edited that, you ain't shit, but you shit. Yes. I'm like, come on, Jordan Peele, you know, you gotta catch some little sly moments. I was like, yeah.
Did John Singleton do the first one?
Who did the first one? That's a good question.
I don't remember. We actually watched it 2 nights ago.
Did it hold up?
I don't remember who did it. Yeah, it did. The original storyline was a little janky as to why he was killing people. Because I'm like,
yes, he was like a runaway slave that got his legs chopped off, right?
Exactly, but he ended up killing Black people. Like, why would you kill Black people in the projects? Like, that don't make no damn sense. Like, you should be going after the white folks in the Gold Coast. Why are you
that part?
Why are you killing the Black people in Cabrini Green just because your ass is there? I mean, that don't make no damn sense.
Watch this one; it will make sense. It's a lot better this way.
Well, they changed they changed the story. They changed the story.
No, not much. They actually go even deeper into the story from the original one. So they kind of play into it, but then you have to watch it because if I say too much, then it's gonna spoil it.
I'll see it.
So the first one was directed by Bernard Rose. Whoever Bernard Rose, that's a Black name. Bernard Rose. Where BB at?
Hey, Bernard.
His last name might as well be Ogilvy.
Dr. Ogilvy from Professor Ogilvy.
Right. Girl, where is he? What happened to Professor Ogilvy?
I don't know. That is true. That was the Parkers. Darkchild made that theme song.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Little random music. You know, I just know random shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darkchild 99. But anyway, Mo, your mama call you Kevin, but Mo, thank you so much, boo. We love you so much.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Thank you.
We need to make this Palm Springs thing happen, though.
We do.
Please.
I'm down.
Down.
I'll book a flight and come out there.
I know.
Come in next month is October. So October through April, it's going to be like gorgeous.
Yeah.
And we gotta make sure you're there because you booked and busy. So it was like, if I'm gonna come all the way,
we'll show up. We'll show up like, where Monique at? Oh,
she's like, bitch, I'm booking
busy. She in Greece. She in Greece. She's like, I'm in Namos.
Right.
No.
Dancing on the table.
Yeah.
So community, check out Mo Beauty. Get to use some Mo Beauty. To get beautiful, get that skincare. Because like she said, it's harder for Black skin to crack, but when it do, honey. And then be on the lookout for all her shows like The Walk-In.
Yes. On Amazon Music. Yes.
We're rooting for you for that the Firefly Festival over in Dover, Delaware. That's
gonna be amazing.
We're proud of you, boo. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, but community, stay safe out there. You know, Delta and then Miss Moo Moo out there too. So wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. Be safe, and see you next week.
Wash the tank.
That part.
That's a whole separate area.
It sure is.